Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business. Here are your hosts, Anna Steinfest and Dr. Michael Troyer.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast on Small Business Survival Conversations. I'm here with Anna Steinfest. Hi, Anna.
Hello, Michael.
And we're here on that age-old topic of time management because it's always a challenge. So we've got some quick tips for you. Let's get right to it.
Yes, we just wanted to give you some ideas. How do you manage your time? Number one, we suggest that you take a piece of paper or on your computer and you practice, we call this one a brain dump, where you put on a single sheet of paper, again, all on Word document, every single pending tasks you have currently on your personal and on your business side. We know that some people like to keep everything separate, so you can have like two lists, personal and business, however, on one sheet of paper.
Right. Now you've got that in place, you've got that in front of you, and you're overwhelmed because there's so much there. So second step, start throwing it into one of three groups. Group A is really urgent, needs to get done. Group B, you got to start it at some point because it's going to take a while to get it done. So that's maybe just under urgency. And C, okay, that could wait a little bit. Three quick categories. Everything has to fit in one of those three, and you have to achieve a rough balance between the three in terms of how much goes into each. So 6 in one, 6 in another, 6 in C. That's just to force you to a little easier way to get your prioritization set, but then go back and take just group A and rank order it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can even have 2 1s and 2 3s. I don't care, but rank order it. So we've got 2 steps right there.
And we will do a separate episode just on prioritization, helping you how you can be more efficient. But today we just wanted to give you quick tips on time management. So number one, again, brain dump. Number two, prioritize your tasks. And number three, you have to add an activity associated with every task on your list and the due date of that activity.
And I'd say particularly for group 1. Maybe for group 2 if you have time. What's important is if you can get that one activity done, you will feel rewarded for having achieved something on that particular task. So it makes you feel good. That drives you, that motivates you. I think another important tip is to look at your overdue list, which we all kind of keep in our heads, if not on paper, and ask yourself, how long, particularly maybe for group C, how long have those things been there? If they've been in that list for 2 weeks in that C, they don't belong anywhere. I'd cross them off. Come on, let's be honest.
Yes,
Okay.
you just delete it. I mean, if you can delegate it to someone else, good for you, do it. But it should be off your list. Absolutely, Michael. I really, really second your thought on that.
And I think it's important to remember that this whole process we're talking to you about really is useful because the stress that you feel sometimes with so much in front of you, it does cause you to be overwhelmed. And then you don't know where to start, and that loses time. So let's get that out of your way too. That's why we're saying that the quick prioritization process that we've offered to you.
And step number 4, we would like you to daily prioritize your list. I know some of you probably will think about, well, I don't have time for that. Guess what? It's better to make time to prioritize your list because you'll be more efficient and you will find more time during the day when you know which steps and which tasks to tackle during the day.
And sometimes it depends on what time of the day you approach this. I'd argue for the morning or just the night before. But every day we have a different mood. So some days I know I'm going to be good on working on creative things. Another day I may change my priorities because I have to do something analytical rather than creative. So pay attention to who you are and how you work. I also want to push time blocking, that some of those objects in tasks in A really need some time set aside. And if you have to block it and tell everybody around you, I'm sorry, but between 10 and 11:30, I'm not taking any phone calls. I'm not answering any emails. I have to get something done. That's permissible. Give yourself the right to do that. Don't let it get in your way. Is this important to goal planning, Anna?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we said it several times. We'll repeat it through our conversation because we talk about time management. And one thought: planning saves time and reduces your stress.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's extremely important, especially when you're a small business owner and you have like 10,000 things thrown at you. And we're talking about your business life. What about your personal life? I'm sure every one of us has personal life. So you need to make time to plan.
Yes, you do. I'm going to jump to yet one more. I'm going to acknowledge that if we look at personalities, there are many of us who are really good at time management. We live around the time of the day and the clock that we have in front of us in our head or on our wrist. But some of us don't, and we really struggle with it, and I'm one of those. So I have learned to manage myself with a visual project management system that I'm going to describe really fast. You just need a big, long, wide table. And you have to get over something, by the way. You've always admired people who have a really clean, well, efficient, and managed office space. And I would say Anna is, when I go to her office, it's always so well kept. And then I go to mine and it looks like it's junky. And it is to a degree, but I'm a visual project management person. So instead of doing time management, I get all the projects that I have to do and I lay them out on the table so that I can see them. If I have to stack on my group A, I might stack it, alternating ways so that I know that where they separate, or I use colored sheets of paper. But every day, once again, it's back to what Anna said, I go and look at that every day and I change my stacks every day. Now, does my office look a little messy? Yeah, I've got a table with a bunch of stacks, clean, neat stacks of projects in front of me. But if I don't look at them every day, I lose track of them, number one. And two, I do change my priorities day by day. It depends on timeframes coming up that I have to meet. Depends on, again, what I'm going to be good at working on today. So for those of you who can accept a messy office, do project management rather than time management. And then the last one I think was very important, Donna.
Identify and eliminate your time wasters. Extremely important. But I'm sure that if you are managing your time, you will see that you will be eliminating your time wasters. That will push you to audit your time and where do you spend your time on.
And I think you had those little visual cues. So you come into the office, you were going to write a note to a friend, maybe who needs a boost, and you're going to get one email out to a client, and you start doing that. And that's not really what you were going to focus on today. You get caught up in these little, they're not time wasters, is maybe too strong a term, but the little pieces that get in the way. Got a major project, get to it right away in the morning. Do your hour and a half, then go to emails, then go to phone calls, unless they're really urgent. So just pay attention how easily you can get yourself distracted from your prioritization list, your A, B, and C, how easily you get distracted. Don't let that be a distraction.
Yes, and our main thought of the day is use one single system. As you heard, Michael is using, he will print all the project and he will lay this on his desk and he will go through it. Me, I'm more of all my tasks are on the computer, in fact, via Google Drive. So I have access to, even if I'm on the run, I have access to my Google Drive on this Excel sheet. I'm not very fancy here. On Excel sheet, I will put all my tasks. And if I'm running somewhere and I know that I have another task, I have access to my list and I can add it very fast. Sometimes if I have to write something at the end of the day, I will write it on my Excel sheet because it saves me time and it relieves my stress that I'm forgetting something. Because have you thought of yourself, hey, I forgot to do this, or I forgot to do this. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I don't forget things. No, I'm not saying that, but at least I'm trying to be as close to ideal performance as I can.
All good topics, I hope, that help you think through how you can make better use of your time.
Thank you, everyone. And we will continue our conversation about prioritization and some other tips. Or better yet, why don't you share with us what is your favorite time management tip so we can share it in the air.
And let us know if you'd like to talk about delegation, because clearly that's very closely tied to what we've just spoken to. Take care.
You You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.